Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Sunday, which means it's time for slime. Okay, so, yeah, you may notice the schedule is a little bit, whoopsie, did a fucky wucky. So, yeah, fun. Apparently, Shield Hero is not on Mondays, as I was told. It is, apparently those episodes are releasing on Wednesdays. So I guess next week things just kind of have to change a different way. I don't fucking know. So yeah, I don't know what the upload schedule for Reacts is going to be next week, but I guess I'll tell you on the day that goes up at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. every day. Every 2 p.m. every Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. There'll be a React up. I don't know what it's gonna be yet because oh boy, yeah. Alright, but, oh boy, as for slime, once again, we're starting without a stinger, so I guess let's just start it up, go from there, and fucking figure it out. In 3, 2, 1, and go! Okay, so, looking this way, because spoilers, I'm pretty sure are still a thing, but I don't want to fuck up people's timings. So, meme review. No, alright, so in the last episode, Slimeito met up with the dwarves, who are not dwarves. Anyone calls those dwarves, I'm going to fucking slap their shit, and basically saved them all by shitting out a bunch of healing potion, and then shitting out a bunch of swords that he just photocopied because, hey, Slimeito is just a fucking copy machine. I'm gonna admit, like, that last episode really just shattered any expectations I had for this show to actually turn out to be anywhere near interesting. We're not quite at Gate levels yet, thankfully, because unlike with Gate, I don't have to compare it to the real world. I can just be like, okay, this world's just got really stupid fucking rules. With Gate, not so much. But at the same time, like, oh boy, it's running out. It's running thin on things, right? Like, every single cool idea this show has had, it's immediately shitted away. And every interesting thing it's importing from generic fantasy, I don't want to call it Japanifying, because Japan can do good things with Western fantasy tropes. They can do elves, they can do dwarves, they can do goblins, but we good? Alright, but fucking for some reason they keep fucking things up, and I don't get why. But, like, fucking look at this here, like, an elves running a Japanese hostess club. Why the fuck would a hostess club exist ever? I basically just made your entire profession obsolete. Once you die, I can just continue making your fucking swords. Seriously, Like, that's the main issue I have here. Slimeito is, like, humble bragging about everything. Like, he doesn't seem to realize that he's just... he doesn't even realize that he's just broken as fuck, and he's just he just comes across like he's humble bragging. Also, fuck hostess clubs, like, for real. You mean you never went to a hostess club in Japan? The home of hostess clubs, and the only place where they exist. You know they tried to open up a hostess club in the UK, and it shut down because people went there once, and then just left? Because nobody wants to pay to get blue-balled. It's a hostess club, dum-dum, no! What the fuck did you... seriously, has this Japanese businessman never been to a hostess club? The only time I've seen a Hostess Club in media and I thought, hey, that's cool, is the Majima minigame in Yakuza 0, because that was a fun little, like, management game. Remove the hostesses from it entirely, and you've got, like, just, like, make it a strip club, like, with the exact same thing, and you've got the exact same game that's just as interesting. He's so popular and everyone loves him. You're a slime. That's literally not possible. Aren't slimes supposed to be dumb in this universe? Why would he even think that? Like, he's been told that, right? That slimes in general are just fucking shit. Look at her belly button and see the future. Nani? Who the fuck are these Hero Academia rejects? It's another person who got isekai'd! Oh, shit! What's the boy destined to be with? He eats her and steals her identity. Because, I mean, having legs would be very useful to have. There's the pencil mustache asshole. Okay, he doesn't look proportioned like a dwarf. He's not a dwarf, he's a human. Why does a dwarf run a dwarven... why does a human run a dwarven city? Why is a human running a dwarf city? That's like going to fucking Germany and finding out that it's run by a fucking imam, for Christ's sake. Like... Or going to Japan and find out that the emperor's a white guy. Like, fucking Christ. Like, and I don't, and I like, seriously, and I don't mean, like, a white guy born in Japan, even though that would be, like, fucking absolutely ridiculous. I'm talking, like, a white guy from America getting elected prime minister. Or an imam straight from, like, the Middle East, not someone born in Germany. But, like, this is, like, fantasy world where, like, cultures are, like, fucking, like, mono-species. Like, you'll have humans living in a dwarven city, but the dwarves are gonna run the dwarven city. That's dumb. Kill him. Eat him. There'll be no evidence and no one will fucking tell on you. And that's what should happen when a fucking human tries to take over a goddamn dwarven city. It's a good fucking thing that the only real dwarf in this fucking series acts like a dwarf. He's the only dwarf with, like, noticeable muscles, a semi-respectable beard, and a dwarven profession. Everyone else is either fat, scrawny, or doesn't have a fucking beard. Is this voice actor done work in, like, Yakuza 0? Like, for real, he sounds like someone from Yakuza 0, like one of the Yakuza bosses. Not Awano. No, where's that? He sounds kind of like Awano, like a tiny bit. Maybe if you ate people... Why? is a human in charge of a dwarf city? Seriously, fuck humans. Fuck humanity. Also, they put chains on the slime. He is a liquid. Oh my god, this is dumb. Those chains are just slipped right through him. Go up to how long are you going to sleep? So, Rimuru is just a fucking jailbreak waiting to happen. He is literally, he is full of ore, right? He could just clone a bunch of swords and just break out and kill everyone. Seriously, are you gonna tell me how a fucking limp-dicked human... Okay. Why? Like, why make this a dwarf city if you're just gonna fill it with the only fantasy race nobody ever wants to see? Like, when I watch fantasy, yeah, I wanna watch humans do shit. Yeah, no. Humans are great. There wasn't a single goddamn dwarf in that laboratory. How can he blame you for that? This is... like... If this is your favorite anime, I'm sorry, but this world is fucking stupid. For real. No dwarf worth his fucking beard would take orders for some fucking pencil-mustached asshole. Like, a dwarf would look at him and be like, oh man, did the rest of your beard burn off in a forge accident? Like, this feels like in any other fucking... Oh, that's a really fucking... Ooh, yeah. In any other fucking, like, fantasy world, one that actually thinks about the repercussions of where it puts people, this would be a fucking setting where a human took over a dwarven city and is subjugating the native population, and Rimuru would have to free them from human oppression. Seriously. Fuck humanity, dude. Like, humans in fantasy, like, they should be the bad guys, in my opinion. Because, because humans are always, like, the underdog in fantasy. But, I'll get to it later. It's fine. Seriously, he's slept for 3 days. I am really starting to hate Slimeto. Like, for real. I'm really starting to hate Slimeto just because, like, he's a prick. He's just a prick. Every single guard is a human. Did the author forget that this is a fucking dwarf city? The fucking judge is a human! Or bailiff, or whatever the fuck that is. Swear to God, if this is a human, I'm gonna be pissed. It's a human. It's a fucking human. Why is the king a human? Did they fucking forget? Did they fucking forget that this is a dwarf city? Fuck this author, dude. Fuck this author. I'm told episode 6 is where this fucking shit kicks off. So, you know what? I'll give it until, like, episode 8. But I'm getting really angry. I'm getting really angry at how fucking bad this shit is dropping the ball. And that's a blatant lie. Are you fucking kidding me? And these rules are fucking stupid and extremely open to fucking... These fucking rules, like, you can't speak, so someone has to speak in your defense. Like, there's nothing stopping them from buying off your public defender. Like, this is a show trial. Slimato could kill everyone in this room. And no one would care. Because no one in here is a fucking dwarf. He can just turn into any of the monsters he's absorbed. You turn into any of the monsters he's absorbed and just kill everyone. The slime will be executed. That's a... why? Like... How nice to see you again, old friend. Time for 20 years! 20 years or join the military. It's this slime I found. Seriously. Like, I'm at a point where Slime and Toshi just kill everyone in this room and be done with it. I don't care anymore. Like, I don't care for the world building here because it is sloppy and shit. There is not a single fucking dwarf in this room. And all that fanfare for nothing. Well, at the very least, they're exiled, so we never need to see this fucking shithole of a dwarf city ever again. Swear to God, man. Swear to God, this is actually pissing me off. Did people recommend this to piss me off? Like, it started off okay. Like, it started off okay. I don't get it. Execute him. Execute Vesta. Is you! Get going, bitch! Leave! If only you hadn't been a shitheel who can't even grow a proper beard. Just not a single... Literally, for that judge, all you'd have to do is just cut him in half, and you've got a dwarf. So congratulations, dum-dum. Well done. Execute. 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 Kill that pencil-mustached bastard. Replace him with a fucking dwarf. And why have you been nothing but a prick? From the get-go. There's not even any dwarves in that fucking crowd. Like, did they forget this is a dwarf city? Did the author fucking forget? Like, this pisses me off more than it should, and I realize that, but at the same time, it's such sloppy world building that how did this even get past an editor without someone going, hold up, chief. Hold up, chief. You fucking retarded? That last thing is, you's a bitch. Thank you for your service. Now get in the guillotine. Just climb on in that guillotine. Seriously. Those dwarves are fat and have man boobs. Their man boobs are so prevalent that they're built into their armor. I am... What's worse is that since the previous episode, college started up again, and I've been getting going on a creative writing course. Because, you know, I need electives, and also, like, I also kind of want to get, like, a minor in creative writing, because I like writing. But... Or just writing in general, like, fiction. And... As a result, the juices have been getting going again. I've been writing stories and all that, and fiction and all that. And just, like, this anime is setting off every single fucking alarm. Setting off every single alarm in my head going, bad story alert! Bad world building! Bad characterization! That slime is a god being, oh no. Is that it? We done? Is that... Okay then. That's the credits. I'm gonna look over here then. Alright, so... okay, so... Oh, God. Alright, so... So this episode, honestly... It didn't need to be nearly as long as they could have time skipped it. They could have 110% fucking time skipped it. Like, what happened this episode? Let's like lay it out, right? Yep. They're in the Hostess Club, finishing off where they were last time. This fucking pencil mustached asshole walks in and he starts berating Kaijin. He's an asshole to Rimuru. We get the joke about the fruit alcohol with the 7% alcohol by volume. Fucking coward bullshit. And then he gets punched. They go to jail. They pledge their loyalty. Rimuru's an asshole to Gobta. Then there's the trial, which is rigged from the start. And then, oh no, you're exiled. It's fine. And then Vesta and all that, but who gives a fuck about Vesta? The majority of this episode could have been slurped down to about, like, a 3-minute fucking sequence. Is that a name? Shizu a name, or is that... Okay, whatever. Alright, so... Fucking... This episode did not need to exist. This episode just fucking brought any and all pacing to a fucking... screeching goddamn halt. And... everything that I saw within it is bad characterization, bad world building, fucking like the protagonist being an asshole for no fucking reason, like needless like complication of the plot that can be literally told in 1 minute, like 30 seconds more like this episode is everything. Like I swear, if I were to take a script of this episode and I were to bring it to my creative writing professor, like I would get an F. I would get an F. And this is a creative writing course that's like, it's for people that like kind of sort of know how to write like already, like people who just kind of we know the basics, we know how a story is made, we know like how characters are done, basic bitch shit. And this course is like, hey, you know how what goes into a story. Now let's put everything together, make a fucking novel. That's basically how it goes. So like, it's not like baby's first creative writing course. It's like actually like, hey, here's how you get going. Here's how you write a fucking book, video game, whatever. So like, it's not like end all, but it ain't bitch baby mode either. Like, but like even like an intermediate one, they'd be like, no, that's fucking stupid. Like, why is the dwarven city majority human? Fuck off with that. And that's I feel like this is a fucking real big issue that this author has. This author is so like, honestly, I don't think this author should be like this was started as a light novel, right? Like, this author should not be writing fantasy unless it's going off fantasy that is basically just historical fantasy, basically, where it's like, it's all humans, there's no elves, there's no nothing. It's just like, hey, here's your humans, and maybe there's some goblins you gotta shoot, or a dragon, or whatever. But there should not be dwarves, there should not be elves, there should not be any... Ooh, pardon me. There should not be any sort of demi-human, because this author does not fucking want to do those. You notice, all, like, fucking... How many dwarves actually exist? You got Kaijin, his 3 boys, Kaijin, his 3 boys, his brother, and his brother's, like, 4 friends. So, I lost count. Kaijin, 1, 2, 3, Kaijin's brother, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 9 dwarves. 9 dwarves total. And that's it. In this city of the dwarves are the minority. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, for real, like, we get the goblins. Every goblin except one is turned into a pillar man or a fucking waifu. Fucking, we get to the dwarves. Almost all the dwarves either have no beard, or they've got like a little shitty beard, yeah, and they're short and fat and have man titties. There's only one dwarf that actually meets the criteria for being an actual fucking dwarf, and he's a fucking, I'm going to assume that Kaijin is going to be like a pretty important side character. I'm going to assume that. Yeah, and he's the only one that I could point at and be like, no, that's a dwarf. Everyone else, if you put them, like, just up there and you didn't give them any sort of, like, scale, I'd be like, oh, that's just, like, a ugly human. Like, I think the only other one I think I could say, like, maybe he's a dwarf, is the guy who's, like, got, like, dark skin and got, like, that tattoo on his arm. I think that's the only other one I could point at, like, yeah, no, that's a dwarf. But, like, it'd be a stretch, because he's really fucking scrawny for some fucking reason. I don't know, like, for a dwarf. Like, he's really fucking scrawny for no reason. Like, I just don't understand. And the elves, they're just like basic fucking, it's like, when the Japanese think of elves, they think of that. And it's really annoying because it's not, oh, it's because they're Japanese, their culture is that. No, the Japanese can take Western ideas of fantasy creatures and Western, like, basically creatures that only exist in the West, and they can turn them into really fucking interesting takes. But more often than not, they just go, no, they're just humans with a mild deformity. And and that deformity makes them bad. Like, fucking, it's turning everyone into a human. Like, it's so fucking annoying. Like, and the thing is, it's not like, oh, it's not like, oh, it's their culture, because no, fucking Akira Toriyama, as much shit as I will give Akira Toriyama for not fucking paying attention, Akira Toriyama's world is one of the most Dragon Ball, I mean, is one of the most diverse fucking, like, worlds in anime. You've got fucking, like, fucking furries, you've got, like, I'm gonna call them elves, but they're not elves, like, fucking, you got the Kaioshin, you got all the fucking different demons, you've got, like, fucking dinosaurs. Like, the world of Dragon Ball is, like, yes, you've got people that are like, oh, that's just a human with fucking, like, weird fucking ears slapped onto it. Yeah. But at the same time, you got shit like a pool and fucking Kui and Frieza and fucking Beerus. Like, you have, like, so many variation that even though some of them are like, oh, that's just a human with a weird skin tone, there's so much variation that you can point at and be like, fuck it, I'll overlook a couple of them because the majority of them are fucking great. Like, fucking, oh god, am I about to give props to Gate? I am, aren't I? Oh god, I'm about to give props to Gate, I'm gonna fucking vomit. Like, when they go through the gate, and they enter that new world, yeah, you got the fucking lazy-ass elves, like, but at the very least, those elves have a very clear visual distinction between them and the humans. You've got the fucking furry people. Again, seems to be a recurring theme in these. You got the furry people. You got the angels. You got the fucking, like, weird, like, monster. Like, fucking Gate. Motherfucking... and so the JSDF fought has more fucking diversity. And I don't mean, like, diversity as in buzzword. I mean diversity as in characters look different and non-human when they're not human than this. Fucking, I never thought I would fucking give props to Gate. And yet, here I am. Oh, Jesus, like, I could keep going on this, but, like, before I was angry, now I'm livid, because they took a dwarf city, and you can say, and like I've seen the comments, and you're like, oh, it's an integrated city, everyone lives there. Here's the thing. Pardon me. Integration does not mean complete replacement of the original native fucking culture and species. And you can't call it a dwarven city when there are fucking 9 dwarves. That's like me going to fucking... Oh god, I need to think of somewhere that's not gonna offend anyone. That is like me going to fucking... I don't know, going to Afghanistan. Yeah, and finding the one guy who is, like, Christian there, and going, oh yeah, no, Afghanistan's a Christian country. Don't you know? That's Steve. He moved here, like, in the 1970s before shit got bad. Fuck knows why he's still here, but yeah, he's still here. Afghanistan's a Christian country. Like... You know what I mean? Like, that would, like, fucking, that'd piss off anyone who's, like, fucking from Afghanistan who somehow stumbles across this fucking video somehow. But, you know, you see, it's the same fucking thing. Like, oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, it's fucking stupid. It's like halfway through, they forgot their own fucking world building. That is the cardinal fucking sin. Did nobody fucking, like, while they were editing this, go through and go, like, hold up, chief. Hold up. Hold up. Where the fucking dwarves at? Where they at? Where the dwarves at? Fucking... Jesus Christ. And it's just... I want to like that... I've steamed up my glasses now. I want to like this show. I do. Because the premise is interesting. But between Slimeto being Slimeto and fucking up their own world building and taking every single interesting premise and turning it around and into shit, fucking, it pisses me off. Like, it's like, and the fucking Dwarf King is a human. The King of the Dwarves, King, hereditary title. And I know they said Hero King, so it implies that he earned the title. Somehow, that's not how kings work, but okay. That means that there was a Dwarven King at some point, And then this asshole came in and supplicated him. You know what we called that in Europe? The place where kings and succession crises actually used to happen? You know what we call that? We called that being conquered by another country. That's what we called that. Because that happened a lot in England, in fucking France, in every single country that has ever had a fucking king. That has happened at least once, and not once was it considered, oh no, just changing things around. Fucking, the only time I can think of is when fucking, Richard the Lion... Was it Richard the Lionheart? I want to say it was Richard the Lionheart. I might be wrong, because it's getting late, and I'm kind of tired. Richard the Lionheart... Oh, fuck, now I'm fucking up. No, it wasn't him. It wasn't him. I don't think. It's William the Conqueror, wasn't it? Yeah, William the Conqueror was French. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was really. I'm 99% sure it was him. Like, pardon me if I'm wrong. It's getting late. I'm tired. Yep, he was French. Did not speak a fucking single goddamn word of English. He came in. He claimed to have a viable claim to the throne, which he did. And there was a succession crisis going on. He took over. And you know what he was? He wasn't King of England. Like, people in England would call him King of England, but as far as he considered himself, he was King of France. He was King of France. And England just so happened to be within his fucking, like, sovereignty. Like, that, like, fucking, that's, yeah. England got conquered by France by an asshole fucking like, his fucking third cousin twice removed or whatever the fuck. I don't actually know what it was. I think it might actually be his mom. I'm not sure. Was... just so happened to have dicked some French king back in the day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, like, that's what this is. But you couldn't call England, like, an English country during that time period, because, yeah, the average peasant was still around, and they still spoke English, but the entire fucking nobility got replaced with the French for a fucking while. The entire running of the country was done by the French. It was a French country. And everyone hated it, and that's why murders happened. Like, nobody liked it. All the peasants were just waiting for their chance to fucking revolt, and just fucking shit just kept going on until a fucking actual English king showed up. Fucking, like, and this here is acting like a human, like, with a fully, what appears to be a fully human fucking ruling class, is just running roughshod over these dwarves, who appear to be, like, either non-existent or relegated to entirely labor roles. You know what we fucking call that? We call that the caste system. You know what country fucking uses that? India. You know how well India's doing? Not very well. Fucking, come on, dude. Like, anthropologically, this anime is a fucking farce. Like, and I get it. Like, oh, it's an anime. Anthropology need not apply. Fuck you. No, it does. You can't just have it'd be like if in World of Warcraft you logged in, you fucking went to Dunmoreau and fucking, oh god, who's the fucking ruler of Dunmoreau now? Is it Moira? I haven't played in a while. Fucking, you walk in and Moira Thracian and the rest of the Council of Three Hammers has been replaced by Anduin fucking Rin. And he's just like, oh yeah, no, I'm king of the dwarves now. And above his head it says king of the dwarves, despite the fact he's twice as fucking tall. Like, I get it. Anduin wants to dick the dwarf women. I get it. I know he does. But don't make him a dwarf. And don't make him a dwarf king. Just... fucking... Here's a little spice. A little bit of fucking, like, storytelling thing here, right? Like, when you're coming up with your world and you're writing down what you're doing, like, before you even put pen to fucking paper on your, like writing the story of what happens in that world, detail the world first. Like, you don't have to do like oh, this is the continent of Bablinky Boy, and it is inhabited entirely by a race of people whose feet have been replaced by springs. Like, you don't need to go that far if the story doesn't require you go there. But, like, have a basic idea, know where your story starts, and be like, okay, my story starts in the like, even if you are just winging it, and you're just kind of, like, making up your story as you go along, which a lot of writers do. But the thing is, like, write down your story first. So you've got, like, okay, so this starts in the kingdom of Thraxia. The kingdom of Thraxia. Yet the hero comes from a small town on the border between Thraxia and Pitanas. Yeah, so the border of Pitanas and Thraxia, there's a war brewing between them, and here's the capital. Here's the capital of each city. That's who lives in them, and here's some cities elsewhere. Like, whether you go to those cities or not in the course of your story is irrelevant. You can reference them and be fine. And if the story requires you go somewhere else, then hey, you got a basis for how your world works with 2 countries or 1 country or wherever you fucking start, or even a fucking like a couple of villages. You don't even need to make a full fucking map. Yeah, and then you can expound from there. And you have everything written down, and anything you add to this world, write it down on the world building sheet. So when you're writing your story and you're going through, periodically just peer over and be like, okay, does everything work? Yeah, everything works. Okay. And that's how you avoid shit like this. I am 99% sure that every single fucking story ever made, except this one, fucking did that. Where a guy, like, or at the very least, kept mental notes of how the fucking world works. Fucking, even Toriyama doesn't fuck up his world building 99% of the time. Like, Toriyama, like, he'll fucking forget that Super Saiyan forms exist, because he did that and he admitted to that, but he still knows, like, where fucking East, West, North, and fucking whatever city are. He still knows who King Furry is. He still knows who fucking, like, all these little side things in the world itself. Yeah, he forgets some things about the characters sometimes, but fucking the world, Toriyama's world is fucking rock fucking solid. As far as I'm aware, I don't think he's actually gone back on anything. Like, so, like, yeah, fucking, even Toriyama, the fucking crown prince of, I forgot, right next to a Rocky, like, doesn't fuck up his world. Nor does a Rocky, for that matter. Like, just about, like, the only thing I can think of about Araki's world building, the guy who does JoJo, that fucking doesn't work, is the fact that he, like, basically gave up on Hamon and just kind of swooshed it under the rug, and also completely forgot about a couple of things with stands. But that's not forgetting how the world works, that's forgetting your character's individual power sets, and when you've got as many characters as JoJo does, that's understandable just a little bit. But the world itself, rock fucking solid, and it works exactly the way it's supposed to, because it doesn't go back on itself like this one does. Like, it's my biggest pet peeve, and I'm honestly feeling like maybe someone out there the people who recommended this, like, they put this forward because they knew it would get my fucking goat. And you know what? I applaud. My goat has been stolen, but I still want to keep watching because I want to see how bad and how warm this fucking dumpster fire gets. Holy fucking shit. Oh, God. And it also just makes me even more mad at those fucking blue checkmarks who fucking said that this was a better alternative to Goblin Slayer and that people should support this over Goblin Slayer. Fuck you, no. Fuck you, no. I'm 99% sure that the only goddamn reason that this thing got the amount of traction it did is because of those fucking blue checkmarks. I see no other reason why. Because otherwise it's just generic isekai with a writer that doesn't know how to do demi-human characters. Oh boy, I'm gonna stop now. I'm gonna stop now before I go on another fucking rant, because... Oh, wait, no, fuck, I forgot about the human thing. Okay, real quick, promise. So, in a fantasy world, humans be one of 2 things. If your protagonist is a human, then humans need to be not need to be, but by rule of thumb, humans should not be, like, the overpowered rulers of everything if your protagonist is a human. Humans usually are not as good as the other fantasy races because in the cultures they came from, pardon me, those fantasy creatures are supposed to be challenges for a human hero to overcome. And that's why, like, elves are always much better bowmen. Dwarves are always much better smiths and do technology and fucking, you know, etc, etc, etc. So humans should always be, like, jack of all trades, master of none, emphasis on the master of none part, so the humans kind of live like this underdog thing. And that's usually how they go. You can, like, upend that a tiny bit, but usually that's the rule of thumb. And when you when you upend it, you can't really lose the spirit of it, and the spirit of that is so that the protagonist doesn't win because of their race. the protagonist should win because of their merits and what they do. If your protagonist isn't human, if your protagonist is a goblin or a slime or an elf or fuck knows what, then humans should be, or even like if they're a human but from a different world, an isekai, if you will, yes, like the humans should be evil. The humans should be like some sort of like oppressive force. Something that makes makes the reader or the viewer or whatever turn the mirror around and go, oh shit, oh fuck, oh no. Because humans, like, I don't know if you know this, but humans, we tend to be assholes. To ourselves, to others, to anyone that looks just a little bit different than us. We, as time's gone on, humans, we've tried to get a little bit better at that. We tried. But, innately, humans, like, it's doubt, like, we are descended from, essentially, not chimps. I'm gonna call them chimps, but they're not chimps, there's different species, but I don't want to get to it because it's fucking biology. But, basically, like, things that evolved into chimps also. And very tribalistic, giant assholes that will murder for fucking giggles, right? Very rarely do humans get away from that. And also the fact that just, like, when we were evolving, like, a lot of our stuff is move around, find an animal, or an animal pack, hunt it, track it down, fucking, oh no, it's dead, find a different one, until we figured out farming, at which point it was, I have all the food. Everyone wants to live around me. Now I get a bigger house because everyone is getting their food from me, which means I hold the power. Oh no, someone's going to try and take the power from me and cave in my skull with a rock. I'm gonna cave in his skull first. Oh no, that guy over there has a bunch of food too, and he's got a big house. I need to go cave in his skull with a rock before he takes my fucking territory. That's basically the story of humanity boiled down, and that's what makes humanity such great villains, because you don't have to go, like, cartoonishly evil to make a good human villain. You don't. You just need to just write a villain that's human, and it works, because humans, like, if you tear away all of our, like, socially acceptable things, or it's like, if you tear away, like, basically what makes us civilized and what keeps us different from the beasts, then you have, like, the basic premise for the ultimate villain, and it works every time. So, like, that's, like, fucking, you can't do both, like this is trying to do. Like, oh, jeez, But, alright, I'm gonna stop now, because fucking we're going on too long, and I got really angry, and I apologize if this is your favorite anime, but fuck me! But yeah, fucking, alright. I hope you enjoyed my rant, and I hope you learned some stuff from me talking about, like, story concepts and history and things. But, yeah, I'm as always, I am Nozz. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share social media, tell your friends, spread the word, spread the good word. And if you want to support me on Patreon, you can always do that. Link down in the description. That gets you access to special patrons on the Discord channel, on the open Discord server. Also link down in the description where you can recommend things to be Let's Played, reacted to, live streamed, whatever, and also helps me eat food. Oh boy, I'm really hungry right now. Alright, so as always, I'll see you in the next video. But most importantly, become a trash mammal today. And I will see you around the hoop.